Namaskar, this is my 49th lecture and I want to bring in something that was not supposed to be part of this lecture, but nonetheless I'll speak about it because it's a pressing issue. I was threatened for speaking about the Hindu genocide in East Pakistan and then during the Noakhali mayhem of Hindus and the current condition of the minorities, Hindu, Buddhist, Christians in Bangladesh. I was threatened with sexual violence and I was badmouthed. Now let's try to understand this. And the person that I'm going to evoke here is Hannah Arendt. And this is going to be a relatively long and a bit complex lecture, so I would urge all of you to listen till the end. So what is going on here? Let's go through, I'll summarize what Hannah Arendt, a Jewish Polish philosopher who lived during the Nazi regimes, World War II, she talks about the banality of evil. What does she mean? What does banality of evil mean? Banality is everyday, ordinary evil. What she's saying is exactly what was going on with Eichmann's trial. When Eichmann was brought in by the Israeli government from Argentina and charged with crime against humanity for sending millions of Jews to their death, he, throughout the trial, he said he never committed any crime. He doesn't hate any Jew or any other person. He was just following governmental orders. And he went on saying that till the end, he never accepted that he did anything wrong. It was governmental orders and he was a patriotic person, etc. And Hannah Arendt calls this the new criminal, the cog in the machine. So we all have a little bit of this banality of evil in our lives. Let's try to understand this. How do we learn about moral values? What is good, what is bad, what's right, what's wrong? We learn it as we are growing up in society through culture and mostly through parents in the family. And as we grow up, it's so much entrenched in culture and society that we forget that these are created by human beings. So what is good, what is bad, what is right, what's wrong? Where we should speak, where we should speak out and where we should keep silent. All these we learn from society. And we forget that these are not natural. These are not absolute rules or laws. For example, speaking out against elders who are doing something unjust, we are told not to do, especially in our culture, in the Indic cultures, and we accept that. But what is interesting here is we don't question it, and if we did, we'll see that someone has made those rules and we are following them. It's human beings who have made those rules, and hence they're controlling it. So they're controlling the entire discourse about right, wrong, good, bad, and so forth. And this is institutionalized, it's perpetuated through generations, through family, system, culture, and so forth. And we can't go beyond it. And that's why when we are silent because that's what we are taught. For example, women so far were silent about sexual violence in their lives, which is how Freud's theory came in. So many women came to him talking about the sexual abuse that happened to them as children, because they took it as natural. Mothers used to say, oh, just don't talk about it. Keep shut, keep quiet. And they thought that it was their fault. Somehow they were responsible for what happened to them. And because the mother said, they took it as natural. This is the banality of evil. Does that mean the mother is an evil person trying to tell the daughter that you cannot speak out against injustice in your lives? No, the mother is not evil. She's adopting the entire cultural system, the cultural values. So good, bad, right or wrong is also institutionalized. And she's perpetuating the same system. And perhaps, excuse me, this woman who kept silent will say the same thing to her daughter when that violence happens on her life. Marital rape is never spoken about. Why? Because it's naturalized, it's institutionalized, that a husband has absolute right over a wife's body. Because after all, the rape laws, if you look at them in England, the rape laws were constructed around a man's property rights. The rape laws were constructed in such a way that when a woman is violated, it's a harm done to the man's property. If she's married, it's done against the husband. If she's not married, it's done against the father. So it's all property laws. And around this, the silence was perpetuated. Now, let's try to understand this in the context of what happened when someone threatened me for talking about the genocide that is going on and that happened during various times in East Pakistan against Hindus. It's the same thing. It's naturalized. You're not supposed to talk about it. That's not good behavior. It's institutional. It's the banality of evil. Whatever has happened, women were violated, men were killed, children were thrown in fire during Noakhali. And I've talked about this in the book that I've translated. The original book is written by Sandeep Mukherjee. You can find it in Amazon. It's called Unspoken Hindu Genocide and Ethnic Cleansing. And it's natural.